Lions TV, good evening. We are returning on the M6 from a 500-mile round trip to Wigan. Final game of the season, lost 1-0. It's all worth it though, mate, wasn't it?
It definitely was worth it to see the end of Gregory. That definitely was worth it. Yeah. Even for me, that was.
For someone who's not primarily a Gregory fan, that got you. That got you right there.
I'll tell you what, it was nearly like watching the Titanic. If you'd put the Titanic music on it, that would have it would have made me go. But
it was touching to see. But before we get onto that subject, let's talk about what we've just been talking about off camera. You know, the team last few games, nothing to play for, and I was frustrated, as were you, that he just said he was going to change it, but didn't really.
Yeah, the problem is that, again, you know, we're sounding negative, and I don't want to sound negative, but he's had the last couple of games now to completely change it, and to let us, Joe Public or Millwall fans, see the ideas that he says he's going to put forward for next season, or the strength that he has, the stubbornness that he's got of doing things differently now. But he didn't, you know, and it was the same old.
It was the same old. For anyone who don't know, we've lost the game by 1-0, an early goal from him. Same story usually, you know, we concede and then we start playing after we concede. A lot of huff and puff in the first half, but no real chances taken.
No, I mean, we did have some chances. We did create some chances.
Juicy Jake is always the one hope we're looking for, is that centre half.
Yeah, that's the big problem, is set pieces, looking for Alex Pearce, looking for Cooper, and seeing if we can get one from a set piece. But I don't think we ever looked like scoring though. I weren't expecting us to score.
No, I mean, like you say, the ideas today and for the last few games since we've been safe, maybe 2 or 3 games, might be being harsh there, but the ideas still look the same. For me, you know, in the second half, it was already 1-0 down, we was chasing the game, and you're not, as I said on my full-time reaction, you're not expecting fireworks, you're not expecting miracles, but again, for me, to pay all that money for Scalak and leave him on the bench and then bring him on, what did he do when he brought him on? Because you love that move.
So how we worked this was, Scalak was playing on the left and Ferguson was playing on the right, and neither of them were cutting in to have a shot. So yeah, my decision on that is that Harris has done that simply to wind me up. No other reason why he'd do that.
He's sitting there somewhere on the coach. I'm just laughing. Yeah. But you know, when Scalak did come on, I mean, I've been one that said he's not good enough, but he's never been really given a chance. And for me, the last 2 games, considering all the money we paid for him, and considering he'll probably be in next season, because I can't see anyone who's going to want to take him for dough. Yeah. Should we not give him 2 lots of 90 minutes today against Bristol City? I thought he did show flashes of, at least he had a change of pace. Yeah,
I think it was Lee that hit the nail on the head. He turned around and said when he played for Brighton, his job was to stay forward. He didn't have to do a lot of tracking back. It was him and Knockout that didn't have to track back. He needed more than 2 games. He needs 5-10 games. Yeah. You know, then we can make a decision on him. Players like Elliott, we've made a decision on him based on how many games he's played. But Scalak hasn't had the opportunity.
Yeah, so I agree completely. Getting on to Elliott, fans were frustrated against Bristol City, and I can see why. That I think it was Morrison came off, and it might have been Morrison, whoever came off. Oh, it was Williams that came off, and Tom Elliott came on, and the fans booed that. Nothing against Tom Elliott, but again, going back to what Harris has said about it's time to practice what he preaches and bring in fresh blood. Yeah. And it was good to see today George Alexander come on for his debut. We can now get on to the Gregory moment as well.
I've been missing.
Yeah, no. So Lee Gregory missed a chance. I'm a massive Lee Gregory fan. Ken likes Lee Gregory, but I do understand where you're coming from. You say Lee Gregory needs 4 or 5 chances to score 1 goal. Yeah. Which is true in a way, and he did miss a good chance today. But when he came off, that was nice to see when he came off.
Yeah, it was quite emotional actually. You know, Lee Gregory's done a lot for us as a football club, and that assist at Wembley was an assist, wasn't it?
Flick header, he meant it. Back post.
Of course he meant it. Yeah. But no, other than that, you know, he's been a great servant to Millwall, and he deserves more than a standing ovation. Yeah. And even so much, I'd like to keep track on what he's doing. You know, he's a great player and looks like a great lad. Yeah. More importantly, I think we were sat behind his mum or his mother-in-law.
She had some connection to Greg, as you thought, didn't you?
That's why I kept my mouth shut.
So your rib was ready to explode when he missed that chance.
Yeah.
So Gregors goes off, but listen, a new star is born. and a new song. Do do do, Georgie Alexander. Do do do. That was all we got. That's it. But it's better than Gregory. So George Alexander come on for his first team debut at 17 years old. There's a lot of hype around George, and partly will be because his dad played for the club and done well for us. But him and Billy Mitchell come on. Who impressed you there out of them two?
100% it was Billy Mitchell. Impressed me a lot more than George Alexander. He was screaming for the ball. He wanted it. He was running around the pitch. I'll tell you what.
He was demanding. He was demanding the ball, Billy Mitchell. He was demanding it.
Yeah, and if you can get him with a bit more experience, him and Ben Thompson in the middle would be.
He reminded me a little bit of Thompson. He was hungry. He's a young footballer. Was hungry. He was heads in the right place, and he just wanted the fucking ball. And that's all you ask for. You know, he was buzzing around. I think he got booked for a late tackle.
Yeah.
But he looked good when he come on. So the game ends 1-0. The fans stand and give the players a standing ovation, which Pete O'Mara is not happy with, by the way. He's been firing into the group. Big P is not happy that the players got a standing ovation and the way we limped over the line. But at the end of the day, we finished 4 points clear, I think, of the relegation zone, or 3 points clear of the relegation zone, with a very superior goal difference to Rotherham. So, yes, it's been shit this season, but it's still job done.
Yeah, definitely. Dan, we're never going to be happy. We're Millwall fans. It's the way it is. You know, last season when we finished 8th, it was 8th, wasn't it?
8th, yeah.
We were moaning because we didn't hit the playoffs. You know, this year we'd be moaning because we were nowhere near the playoffs again. You know, if we got relegated, we'd be moaning because we got relegated. That's who we are. That's what we do. But it is job done. We've been given a lot of promises for next season during the summer.
Let's move on to good cue. We'll line me up lovely for the next subject. Neil, we've all thought it. Now Neil Harris has come out and said it. A massive overhaul is needed in the summer. So what we'll do is now we'll go through the players and we'll say whether we'd retain them or release or sell. Just say release, and that means one or t'other.
Yeah.
But as it stands, we've got first team goalkeepers. We've got 4 first team goalkeepers. The thing that pissed me off this season is we signed Amos from Bolton for big wages because Bolton couldn't afford to pay his wages. Then he ends up sitting on the bench all year along with Jordan Archer, who's now not even in the squad. We've had Dave Martin sitting there for 2 years. For me, I'd start with Dave Martin. I said definitely I'd keep him. And in Dave Martin, I think we found I'd be more than happy if he was our goalkeeper all next season.
Yeah, definitely. I think he has to be our number one.
Oh, 100%.
In ways of goalkeepers, with 4 guys, I'd get rid of. What I'd probably do, I'd probably send King back out on loan.
Yeah.
And I'd get rid of Archer.
Yeah. So we're going to say King retain but loan out.
Yep.
Get rid of Amos.
Yep.
Because he wasn't out anyway and he's on a lot of dough. Get rid of Archer.
Yep.
And Dave Martin's going to be our number 1.
Yeah, and then we'd have is it
Sanford?
That's it, Sanford. He can be our number 2.
He can be our number 2. Yeah, because number 2s are really used, aren't they? But I think what we've said will happen. I think we may see Tom King leave. But I think in Alec, well, we'll move on to the defence in a minute, but I think in Dave Martin, we've found ourselves, we've now not got to spend money on a goalkeeper, in my opinion. Yeah,
I don't think we have at all. And do you know what? He's not a Millwall supporter, but Joe, he comes across as if he is proper Millwall. He wants to win. He wants to keep them clean sheet. He's passionate, and that's what we want as Millwall supporters. That's what we want.
100%. I think with Archer, it wasn't always necessarily just the performances. It was everything, all the baggage that come with that.
Yeah.
Which we won't discuss on camera.
No.
But so that's the goalkeeping situation. So right now, I'm saying Dave Martin. I'm very happy with him to start the first game of the season in goal. Would you agree?
100%. Yep.
Right, now let's move on to left backs. 3 left backs at the club: Murray Wallace, James Meredith, and to an extent Shane Ferguson. Let's start with James Meredith.
Get rid.
You get rid of him?
Yeah, I'd get rid of him. He's slow. His distribution is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous.
His pass is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, when he does go down there, you know he's going to cut back. For me, he's not what we need in our team with what Harris is wanting to do for next season.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think he had a very good season last season in his first full season with us.
Yes.
I don't know if age has caught up with him or this league's caught up with him, but for me, James Meredith's got to go. Murray Wallace.
Yes, Murray Wallace.
Murray Wallace was a weird one because he came in and I didn't think it's going to be any good. Played centre half a couple of times. particularly against Plymouth in the Checker Trade Trophy, whatever it's called, looked dodgy, and then he's become like an unlikely goal-scoring FA Cup hero at left back.
Yeah, I think that with Murray Wallace, depends on formation for me. He's never going to be a fullback, is he?
He seems like very big to be a fullback. Yeah. Like big build.
Yeah. So I would definitely keep Murray Wallace. I liked him. I thought he was solid. I don't think he very rarely makes a mistake, apart from when he first started with us. And he's scored a couple of goals which have got us through to FA Cup quarter-final.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd keep him.
Big game player, Big Murray.
Yeah.
Big Murray. Right, we'll cover Shane Ferguson as a left back as soon as we're on. I know he's versatile. He had a mini revival earlier this season. For me, he's gone back in his shell a bit, but I don't have any problem. For me, if all three were fit and I had to choose one today to be my left back, I'd choose Shane Ferguson.
I'd get rid of Shane Ferguson.
You get rid of him?
I'll get rid of him. I think he's too backwards and forwards, backwards and high, low, up, down, hot, cold. You just can't rely on him. I'd like something a lot more solid. Well,
I've given him grief in the past, Ferg, I do believe he's turned it round, but I'd be happy to keep Fergie as a squad player.
Yeah.
Because he's left-footed, because he's versatile. Don't miss the M1. We're going M1. Sorry, he's having a little bit of a row with a sat nav in a minute. But so Shane Ferguson, I'd be happy to keep as a squad player. Kenny would get rid of him. Yeah, left the M1. Sorry, but just make sure we don't. This video ends up somewhere near Felixstowe or Kettering, wherever that fucking is. Centre backs. Now we have 3 centre backs to my knowledge. I'm not even going to count Sid Nelson. Discard Sid Nelson. I'm going to count. That's nothing, but he's never going to be in our first team, so it's a waste of time. Let's talk about Alex Pearce.
Alex Pearce, as much as he looks like he needs a good massage, to be honest, he looks really stiff.
He does look like he shit his pants and he's trying to shake something out there, or trying to hold it until half time so he can.
Yeah, but I'd keep him. Yeah. I'm happy with Alex Pearce. He looks solid, and I think Harris has said that's his priority, is to keep Pearce.
Yeah, I think Pearce has come in and has become a readily made replacement. Easy for me to say after 2 Coronas for Shawn Hutchinson. Let's move on to him. I don't know what's happened to Shawn Hutchinson. Last season's Player of the Year.
Yep. Well, he's the same as Jordan Archer, isn't he? He's ill at the moment. So
you said it, mate, not me. But yeah, I don't know, because he doesn't seem like that sort of character. You know, obviously Player of the Year. He was captain last year, but with Pearce coming in, it seemed, you know, there was definitely an injury with his bins, which was random.
Well,
but
after
since
that,
then he went to hospital, or maybe it has just been bad fortune, because I personally can't see Shawn Hutchinson causing problems within the dressing room. But if you could keep him and he wanted to stay, would you keep him?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if he's not an hassle in the dressing room and he's a good positive character to have around.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a lot of experience. He is still a solid defender.
Yeah.
I'd keep him.
So we're saying we both keep Pearce and we both keep Hutchinson.
Yep.
Now the third cog in that wheel for me is Jake Cooper, who I rate very highly.
Yep.
A very good young player with potential. But the discussion we were just having off camera, would you sell Jake Cooper to free up some needed funds to rejuvenate our squad?
I think we'd have to. Where else are we going to get money from?
Well, that's a great point.
Yeah, I don't see John Berylson funding and giving Harris a lot of money, given the fact that Neil Harris has made some awful signings, you know, this season.
Yeah.
He's going to have to do something. I don't think JB's going to give him a lot of money. So
to free up, maybe we'd have to sell Elvis to buy the Beatles, in effect.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
I don't think we get any of them 6, but
no.
I would agree with you. What do you? I mean, I don't want to lose Jake Cooper, but like you just so rightly said, other than Jeb Wallace, I can't see us getting any money for anyone in that squad, other than maybe Marlon Romeo.
Maybe
that I can think of.
Yeah.
But we'll get on to Marlon in a minute. Jake Cooper, how much would you sell him for in this current climate? If Rangers come in tomorrow, Stevie G's knocking at the door and says, Ken, speak to Neil Harris and me, I want to give you £8 million for Jake Cooper. Would it be deal done?
Yeah, I think so. I think we'd have to. 8 million's fair. We got it for Savile, didn't we?
Yeah, I think they offered 4 or whatever, and we're hanging out for more. But we'd like to keep Cooper, for the record.
Yeah,
keep
definitely.
Cooper, Hutchinson, and Pearce is a good back 3. For me, our whole back line isn't really an issue. The issue's further up the pitch.
Yeah.
Before we get further up the pitch, two right backs, Marlon Romeo, That's an easy one.
Yep.
Isn't it? Keep, retain.
Yeah,
Ooh, controversial.
once again, for me, it depends on formation.
Yeah.
If Marlon Romeo's allowed to get forwards and doesn't necessarily have to track back
in a 4-4-2,
then keep him. But Marlon Romeo for me isn't the best defender in the world.
No.
And if he's going to be a right back and solely for defending, then I'd have Conor McLaughlin in, you know, any day of the week over Romeo. So it depends what his plans are. Marlon Romeo could be a good bit of money for us if
it could be the only other option if Cooper wasn't, or if Stevie G comes in from both.
Yeah.
Conor McLaughlin, let's get on to what you just mentioned, the last right back. I like Conor McLaughlin. I don't think he's been given a fair crack. I don't think he's happy at the club. I don't know that. I just, from what I can see, I mean, listen, who would get signed for half decent money and then as a Northern Irish international and never play? I think he showed at Sheffield United that he can play centre back as well. So for that reason, I'd retain McLaughlin if I can keep him happy. But he's going to want games, and with the option of him also being able to play centre back, and we saw him play away at Sheffield Wednesday as a holding central midfield player. I think he's a good player. I think he's versatile, and he's definitely one I'd try and retain.
Yeah, 100%. I'd like to keep Conor McLaughlin, and as I say, depending on the way things go, you've got two different avenues, haven't you? You've got Conor McLaughlin as a staying right back, and you've got Marlon Romeo who's a lot more attacking. So keep both.
Keep both. Same. I'd agree. Right, let's move on to the nitty gritty of the midfield. Where do we start here?
Get rid of the fucking lot of them. other than Thompson.
Right, I'm gonna start by saying that Fred and Aidan O'Brien, I'm not going to include him. Well, I'm going to include him in this. I like them both. I think they both got potential. The massive shame for me is you can see Aidan when we stayed up saying if anyone sees these boys out tonight about the West Brom players, buy them a drink. Today he's come out, Aidan O'Brien, he's been complimentary towards McNamara, George Alexander and Billy Mitchell getting on the bench. Well done, boys, this is the next step. For me, Aidan wants to play for the club, but there is clearly some sort of disruption there with him, and I can understand his frustrations. Him and Fred have been at Mill a long time, come through the academy, and I think for both of their best interests, I think their careers will be better for those personally away from Millwall.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of players in our team that are at a superb level in League One.
Yeah.
And we've also got a lot of players that aren't good enough to play in the Championship.
Yeah.
Now we know where we are, we're going to have to be a bit cutthroat. You know, we're going to be like Fred, O'Brien, Leonard. I'd say, I know we ain't going to get rid of him. Leonard, I'd get rid of Leonard. He was horrendous today again.
Yeah. So for their own sake, I'd let AOB and Fred go.
Yeah,
nothing
definitely
against them, but I don't think they're ever going to figure out Harris. So I think we can discount them too. Let's move on to Ryan Leonard, and I feel like a bit of an arsehole keep digging him out because it's not just him that's been bad lately. They've all been bad, but he so clearly did not want the ball today. No. 2 yards, he just wants to give the responsibility to someone else. He pulled out of a 50-50 on the edge of our box in the second half, and I don't think he's as bad as he's currently performing because I think his confidence is so low. But I think Harris has to take a big hit for that, for signing him and saying I've tracked him for years. But for me, if Harris is going to be true to what he's saying, he needs to take a step forward and say, I fucked up with Ryan Leonard and I'm selling him.
Yeah, and let's take a cut on it. You know, what do you buy?
1.5, something like that, 1.7.
I don't think we get $500,000 for him, Dan. I really don't.
I honestly don't.
But yeah, just take the hit and get rid. He's what he isn't. He isn't a Millwall player.
No.
All right, he's come to earn his dough. He's another Marshall, but we're talking about Leonard. He's just here to get his dough. He don't care. He just wants to run around and earn his money. He's not good enough to play in a Millwall shirt.
He's not good enough. No. I mean, look, this is the thing when people say to me, oh, but we signed him for this amount of money. It doesn't matter. People make bad signings. He played about 16 games for Sheffield United. And if he's not good enough to get in our side, no disrespect to us, we just finished 21st in the Championship. This is like moving on to, covering quickly, because I want to go all over the pitch, but Ben Marshall, where does he think he's going to go now for his career? I think he's gone back. If he hasn't, send him back.
Yeah, definitely send him back, yeah.
Because he was at Norwich loaned him back to us, and Norwich fans were going off, he's fucking useless. And I said, no, he's a good player. And he's gone to pieces, but where does Ben Marshall's next move go now? struggling in the Millwall side. So is it going to be League One for him? But anyway, he's not our problem. He's gone.
Yeah.
Leonard's we get rid of Leonard, and for AOB and Fred's own sake, we let both them go.
Yeah. For their sake.
For their sake. Well, let's cover Ben Thompson, no-brainer. Future club captain.
Definitely.
Brilliant player. Has come back and is showing what these other midfielders what we expect.
Yeah.
As a standard, as a rule of thumb, as a Millwall player.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Blood, sweat, and tears for the Millwall shirt. It's that simple, especially in midfield.
Right. One other central midfielder, a little bit of a controversial one because I've hammered him a bit. Ryan Tunnicliffe.
Keep.
You'd keep Tunnicliffe.
Yeah, I like Tunnicliffe. Yeah. I think that Tunnicliffe is the glue.
Right.
That keeps things stuck together.
Keeps
sometimes.
it ticking over.
Yeah, and I'm very much against, as you know, with the Gregory thing about but he does a lot off the ball.
Yeah, I hate that fucking term.
I think midfielders doing a lot off the ball is a lot more important. His movement is brilliant, and his little ticky-tacky passing is brilliant as well. But the problem is if you've got 3-4 ticky-tacky passes in the midfield, it don't work.
No, you're right, and I think that in a more successful side, I think if we play 4-5-1 and had finished 8th this year, because don't forget, Ryan Tunnicliffe didn't play a lot when we finished 8th last season.
Yeah.
He's core and majority of games have come this season. I think in a more successful side, Tunnicliffe, you go, yeah, good player. But we need more creativeness, and he doesn't give us that. I thought we played very well at home to Bristol City, right midfield, weirdly, because for me that shouldn't work, because he's a player that likes to cut in. He's not a player that's pacey and likes to get down the wings, but I thought we played very well against Bristol City. And I thought we done okay again today. I would keep Ryan Tunnicliffe. I'm happy for him to be a squad player.
Yep.
Same as Fergie. You know, the occasional game here and there. He wouldn't be my first choice, and I think that's one of the, we'll get onto it in a minute, one of the places we absolutely need to spend is a central midfielder. We need to break the bank and spend 2-3 million if we got it on a central midfielder. Other midfielders who have I missed, Jed Wallace. For me, and I've hammered Jed's appearances lately, but like you say, blood, sweat and tears, he wants to play for Millwall. In my opinion, he looks like he wants to play for Millwall, and a no-brainer. If we can keep Jed, he hasn't played well last 10 or so games, but apparently he's been carrying a knock. Jed Wallace I'd keep. Yeah,
I'd keep Jed Wallace. He's the one player at the moment that can change a game for us. If there's going to be a bit of magic that's going to happen, it's going to come from Jed. So, yeah, keep him 100%.
One more midfielder. This could be a controversial one. Shawn Williams. Now listen, I'll go first, and everyone knows I love Shawn Williams, and everyone thinks the same is going on with me and Shawn Williams. And I wish he was, because he's got loads of dough and probably lives in a really nice area. And he's got a lovely red convertible car. But no, nothing's going on with me and Shawn Williams, I can confirm, luckily for him. But he's been at Millwall a long time, and as Neil Harris says, get pros that want to play for the club, get pros that want to be around the club. For me, he wants to be around the club. He's a very good pro. We didn't pay a lot of money for him, and I don't think he's going to be a starter for us next season. But for me, definitely is worth keeping as a squad player.
Yeah, as a squad player, I think so. There's certain games where we need a CDM.
Yeah.
You know, someone that's just going to look after the back four.
Yeah.
And Shawn Williams is ideal for that. Well, so in them situations, I'd
God forbid we'd be winning a game, you know, for example, 3-0, where you want someone that's just come on and take the tempo out of the game by retaining the ball and just keeping it and buying himself time on the ball and spreading it around nicely. And just, you know, that's what Shawn Williams will be perfect for. But again, playing for a backs against the wall side, he's not always fully appreciated. He was appreciated more last season.
Yeah.
In a team that was doing better. Right, another midfielder just popped into my head, and we have previously mentioned him, Yuri Skalak. Fucking wow. Red Ferrari driving on loads of Wonga, Yuri Scalacci, ex-Czech Republic international. Yuri unplayable Skalak because he don't fucking play. Can't get near it, can't get a sniff of it.
I'll tell you what, I think he's on I've been told he's on $250,000 a week.
That was better than his Millwall career, that little tribute to Skalak. Now again, for me, you know, what do you think? Well, you go first, Skalak. What the fuck do we do with him?
For me, Skalak, I mean, everyone's probably seen it, that little YouTube video that came out of Skalak on when he was playing for Czech.
He must have a good editor.
Yeah.
Great little montage.
Yeah. But I've said this, he needs 5-10 games. We need to see what it really is about. And once again, if he's not good enough, then we take the hit. But we never needed Ben Marshall if we had Skalak.
Well, again, Harris come out and said Skalak was the one I wanted before I wanted Ben Marshall. and then he's bought Scalak, and then almost immediately re-signed Ben Marshall, and none of them have done the business. But Scalak is a Millwall player. Now again, for me, Scalak's a Millwall player. When Marshall wasn't doing it, you're best off pursuing with Scalak because you're going to be lumbered with him. I think he's going to be there next season.
Yeah, Scalak's given us no indication that he's not interested.
No.
Every time he has come on, he has put it about, and today. We can only go on today, really, can't we?
Yeah.
His deliveries today, the few deliveries that he put in, were out of this world. They were brilliant.
He offered us two things there. I'm not saying he played well, Scalak, by any stretch. Again, it's not easy to come off the bench and try and pull back a team into a match that are losing and have got no ideas anyway. But it did seem to be physical. He won a couple of free kicks, and he offered something different, that change of pace.
Yep.
And like you said, the deliveries he did put in, I think were good. I'm going to say this, give him a pre-season, and I'd keep him.
Yeah, definitely, I'd keep him as well. I don't think we've got any choice.
No, true. I don't think we're going to be able to get rid of him because, again, been to the Premier League at Brighton, done well in the Championship for Brighton. Now he's at Millwall, 21st in the table, can't get near the squad. So no disrespect to Scalak, where's he going to go? Maybe he'll go back to Czech Republic, but I can't see teams wanting to subsidise their state or wherever they live. It's silly to pay for him. Do you know what I mean?
I think that it could be one or the other. If we're gonna use Shane Ferguson, for instance, as a left back.
Yeah.
He could become a starter for us during Scalak next season, and if he does, whether or not he's good enough for the following season, we still might be able to get some dough on him based on his performances next season. So I'd give him a shot. Yeah,
same with me. And then I think that's pretty much everyone other than the forwards. Well, so we've got four forwards. Bradshaw is going to be there next year. He deserves his shot. This discount him. He's going to be there and probably be our main man. Lee Gregory, as we've seen today, is leaving the club without an absolute shadow of a doubt. Well, which will be a shame in my mind, but not Ken's. So that leaves us with take your pick, Steve Morrison or Tom Elliott. That's the end of that video.
I'd get rid of both of them. I think that Morrison should do the right thing and retire. But I think he should stay with Millwall.
To the carpet today, he showed exactly why he should stay with Millwall.
Yeah.
For those who wasn't there, you've got the fucking Jolly Green Giant Olsen at the back for Wigan. Try to stick one on Alexander and then starts trying to get into Billy Mitchell's here, and Morrow was just not having it.
Yeah, no, Morrison was right in his face, and he went round to both the boys. He put his arm round them. He proper looked after them, and that is that's proper Millwall.
I think there's definitely a place for Morrison in the dressing room, and around the club without an absolute doubt. I think we'd all love to see that. I think he's got the right attitude, the attributes to become a manager, a coach, and he's doing his badges. But for me, no disrespect to him, again, club legend. When I used to look at players and I used to think, why did they retire when they was at the top? And then you see players like Sheringham still playing for Portsmouth and Stevenage at 40. For me now, as an older person and a man, I can see why players do that, because we don't want to forget what Steve Morrison was. Him and Gregory was a sensational partnership, one of the best ever in our history. But at the minute, everyone's not hating on the pair of them, but they've fallen from what they was. So for me, Morrison's got to go. Tom Elliott absolutely got to go, which will leave us with Tom Bradshaw as the only fit striker at the club. So in the summer, I would say we need to invest heavily. The back line's fine as far as I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm happy with the back line.
Yeah. And a goalkeeper, I think it's fine. I think we need another central midfielder or two. I think we need another very good central midfielder to be first choice alongside Ben Thompson.
Yep.
Yeah. We need a left-footed midfielder, a pacey, attacking, left-footed midfielder.
Not Greg Wild.
I'll tell you, and in Harris's defence, he was after Joe Lolly. We nearly got Joe Lolly. Joe Lolly got Player of the Year for Forest. So, maybe Harris was on the right lines there, but don't go back and get Marshall.
No.
Don't play Aiden there anymore. I don't think that one's going to be out of our hands anyway. And we need two centre forwards. We need to spend big.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we need to probably spend 10 mil. Where are we going to get that from? It's going to have to be a sale.
It's going to have to be a sale, or we're going to have to find a lower league / non-league gem, like we did with Gregory, like we did with Morrison. But does that exist anymore? 5 years ago, you're signing Lee Gregory from Halifax Town. What do you think you're going to be paying for a striker in League One now?
Yes.
You know, you're going to be paying 2-3 million, I think, for a very good striker in League One.
And that's in League One, and that's if our budget can allow us to get to that.
Exactly. But recruitment's got to be key. Will the gaffer turn it round, Ken? Finally.
I hope so. I love Bomber.
Yeah, we all hope so, and I think that interview he did, the way he was on the pitch there at the end, I think he's hurt him personally and deeply this season. And I think, you know, if anyone can bounce back and turn it round, it can be him.
Yeah, I think he's turned round. He's started looking at what people are saying, and he's realising that the table's slowly starting to turn on him. And he don't want that to happen. You know, he's passionate about Millwall. He's passionate about the football club, the fans. And when he sees that, he realises just that little bit more that he's got to do it for him, let alone anything else.
Yeah, I think so. I think he can be quite egotistical, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
I think his ego has been hurt. You know, and also people say don't judge him on because he was a player. Unfortunately, we all try not to, but he will judge it on that himself. He will think, hang on, I fucking scored a record amount of goals for this club, so have some fucking respect.
Yeah.
Whether it's right or wrong, I think he'll think that.
Yeah, why shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't he?
Well, listen, no one's perfect, and not everyone loves everyone at Millwall, as I've found out many a time. But that's killed a little hour in it, or 31 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed the video. That was good, that.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it. Let's sit in a bit of traffic now on the M25. Please subscribe to Lions TV.
Come on, you lot.